I have run into some of the weirdest drama, and it has nothing to do with anything inside the tech space. It has to do with chairs. I'm not lying. Office chairs. What I'm sitting in currently is actually the Herman Miller Embody chair, and I did not buy this full price because if you see it right now on the screen, it is in the thousands of dollars brand new. I bought it used for $600 locally from a person, and when I got it, it has literally been the best chair ever. And there's going to be a full review on this chair later because I do want to talk about it, and I've been using it for a while. It's fantastic. But one of the things that I did not like about this chair was the headrest that it did not have. And I'm a taller torsoed person, and so I started researching into it, found this channel, watched this review, never even considered it until this popped up on my screen today.
A company called officelogix Shop has put out an expose on me, criticizing me as a reviewer because I put out a video about this headrest, comparing it to the Atlas headrest here.
So yeah, this popped up. I watched Ahnestly along with a lot of other creators when looking for a headrest for my chair, and I ultimately went with the Atlas headrest. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, period. There's no affiliate links, but we are talking about affiliate links in this video. I think as a creator, this is what's really important because the brand from officelogix, who makes the competitor product to this Atlas headrest that Ahnestly was talking about, they're basically claiming that he has a conflict of interest because he left a review online and because he has a working relationship with a brand when they just sent him a product and he told us some other stuff. So I think there's some good points that we need to talk about as creators in this video, and this is a good time and a good example to kind of just go through it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the clips of it. I'm going to react to a little bit of it so you can kind of get pieces and bits of the story. But the truth is, if you want to watch all of the videos in their entirety, I'll link all of the original videos down in the description so you can make your own decisions and thoughts about it. But from a creator perspective, I think it's important we talk about brand deals, influence, money, all of that stuff, and my experience with it. So here's Ahnestly's channel, and he has 65,000 subscribers. And of all of those things that he has, he makes content about chairs. Basically, he purchases these chairs, a lot of them with himself. You can see here's Hayworth versus the Gaming Ferns. You've got Razer, you've got Herman Miller, you've got kind of everything that you could imagine on here. And he covers a whole bunch of stuff that has to do with you having the best ergonomic feel. Here's even standing desks. A lot of stuff that as creators, we kind of maybe don't really focus on, but sitting and where everything sits is also really important as a creator. Anyway, he released this video called The Best Embody Headrest. And as you can see right here, on the right side, he has, or both sides, he has the Herman Miller chairs. The left side is the actual one that I have. And on it is the headrest that we're talking about today, the officelogix headrest. And let's just go ahead and talk about this very quickly. We're going to watch just a little bit of this, but basically the conversation is that officelogix makes this one on the left, and Atlas makes this one on the right, and Ahnestly went ahead and did a review comparing the two and ultimately says that he likes the one on the right, which is the Atlas one, and actually recommends not to get the one on the left. So let's watch just a moment of this.
The Embody headrest by Atlas headrest costs $5 more with my coupon code than the officelogix headrest, but it is light years ahead of the officelogix headrest. As a matter of fact, I think this headrest is so bad that if it were the only headrest available for the Embody, I still wouldn't buy it. I think it's that bad. I'd love to know, am I being too harsh? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, stay safe, and as always, stay honest.
So let's talk about the comment he made there. He basically said that you should buy the Atlas headrest between the two, and that if the Atlas didn't exist, that you shouldn't buy the officelogix because it is that bad. And there are a lot of claims that he talks about in here between adjustments and you know, talking about how it actually works. And then one time he talks about how it actually hurt him because he leaned against the chair and how it actually was leaned up against him. So there's a lot of things in here I think you should go and check out on your own because I don't want to watch all of his content here. Honestly, love your channel, whatever the case. But he will actually say that this piece of content was provided to him, and he does have a coupon for it, whatever the case. So he does make a small commission for it, and he claims and says there are affiliate links for all of these things down in his description. So even for the officelogix that he includes, he has links for that one as well. Anyway, his whole review, which by the way kind of pooped all over this Atlas headrest thing, warranted a response apparently from officelogix. And again, he kind of gave it a pretty bad review, but officelogix, 2K subscriber channel, it's a brand. They basically sell a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon. They make content, whatever the case. But I'm assuming that this is the owner who kind of made this response video and kind of went straight forward and not attacking, but just going after Ahnestly's channel. And if you go to videos, you can see that it's one of their like biggest videos that they have on their channel, 9.7 thousand views. And we'll go into a little bit of the interesting stuff here. But he actually says Ahnestly's Embody headrest review was biased, and he claims that there is a conflict of interest problem inside the video. And he talks about from a lawyer's perspective how he says he's a lawyer and says that this is a conflict of interest. And so we're going to watch a little bit of this. But before we do that, I also want to go ahead and say that he's put out this video, but he also teased a bunch of shorts on this, made a bunch of shorts to basically kind of leave. When I say a bunch, he made like 4 or 5, right? To kind of just draw attention to it. So he's trying to get attraction for this review. So we're going to watch a little bit of officelogix kind of video here, and we'll talk about what I feel about it. So here is his take on conflict of interest when regards to creators. And that's what we're going to focus on for the rest of the video after we kind of get through what their argument is against Ahnestly's review.
Standards apply in terms of conflict of interest for reviewers who claim to be neutral. Now, there's nothing wrong if you're a reviewer and you obtain some type of financial benefit from a company versus another. That's called advertising.
So what he's claiming is that because he felt that he didn't claim that he was making affiliate revenue, or he wasn't connected to the actual owner of the business or something like that, that is a conflict of interest, because Ahnestly is getting a kickback from affiliate commissions by basically selling these headrests. But very clearly in his description does it say all affiliate links cost you nothing but gives a small commission which keeps the channel going. Products from this video using my links, it helps a lot, whatever the case. And he's including all of the Atlas stuff, including officelogix headrest here. Now on YouTube there is a box that you can tick saying that if it is a paid promotion product, which means that they gave you some kind of funding in up front to fund this video. Affiliate commissions is not something that falls under that checkbox, at least from my understanding of YouTube. If it is, I need to check every single box of every video I've ever done, because even I put Amazon links on all of my descriptions for anything that I'm doing, because it doesn't hurt you as a buyer, and in that same case it is an affiliate link and I disclose them in the description. So when it comes to what he's claiming here and saying there's a conflict of interest, it is kind of crazy that he makes that claim, because there's not, it doesn't seem like it's a paid promotion. He doesn't claim that it's a paid promotion, and he's paid. I don't know. I don't understand where the argument's coming from. And from a creator's perspective, there are requirements that you need to fulfill as a creator that says this is what you should do whenever you receive product, receive payment, receive the things, so that you understand as an audience member, they can say and make a choice that says, this is an unbiased review, or hey, they got this product for free. They probably have some kind of biases. Maybe yes, maybe not. I personally think you can do unbiased reviews after receiving product. You just be honest. It's just what it is. This review, the original one, he talks about it and he kind of craps all over this other headrest. I haven't tested it, so I'm not gonna say whether it's good or bad, but honestly, I was influenced, and this is actually one of the ones that influenced me to buy the Atlas headrest. And just, again, I'll say it, it is a fantastic headrest. So Ahnestly gets roasted in this video. They go through this conflict of interest. Then they go through his legal background, basically saying he's a lawyer or something along those lines. And then they go through some warranty stuff, talking about some different things. He tries to dispute some claims that Ahnestly made inside the video. But honestly, like, the worst part about this is this section about communication with Ahnestly and how he kind of backhands this whole conversation of, I appreciate your honest review, but because you have, it's just listen.
As far as any questions you have, there's a lot of questions that you had. You have my email. We've communicated before. You have our phone number, which we've provided to you. You didn't decide to communicate with us. You can always pick up the phone and you can call me direct. So if you have any questions, you don't need to leave it ambiguous and do it in a video, but you can contact directly. That's not a problem. As far as some of the issues that you mentioned, I thought the funniest ones were when you did something like this. The fact that you said that you had a huge amount of pain when you made contact with your head like this position is kind of laughable. I don't really see anyone using our headrest in that perspective or manner, not even accidentally. Hey man, I guess it could be out there. Someone could do something like that. Cool. You know, if that's the way you want to use a headrest, fine by us. But I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that anyone would try to sit on the chair and lean their head back knowing that this is on a horizontal plane like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tackle this one right here. Okay, as a person who reviews a bunch of products, I always take the opportunity, either after the review or before the review. Like I'm about to do a revisit of the Streamer X, the Rode Streamer X. I did a kind of an unboxing video, kind of an initial review before, but I want to do an updated video talking about some of the issues that I have with it now and some really cool stuff I've discovered. And I think this is the perfect example of when you use something, sometimes things occur that the creator or the brand doesn't recognize could be an issue. And in this case, he's talking about this part of the headrest and how it tilts all the way back, and honestly mentioned that he had hit his head onto the side of it and it caused him pain, right? So when it comes to the brand sitting here and saying, I just can't believe that people would even be able to use this, right? And this would even be able to occur. Let me just remind you, officelogix, there are directions on shampoo bottles for a reason. It says caution hot on McDonald's cups for coffee, and everything else in this world has some kind of piece because someone has used something or consumed or has had some interaction with something that is not the intended response, and something comes from that. Well, just because you don't think anyone would use the headrest like this doesn't mean that somebody might be sitting in the chair, a kid walks up behind them, pulls it down, and you bash your head into the back of it. No one's intending that that's going to occur, but maybe you should probably make your product to where it doesn't tilt all the way back to where that's even an issue. I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about how it's not even possible, why don't you just make it not possible? It's just a thought. Okay. If you're tired of if you didn't like this response, maybe you should have taken the criticism and said like, oh, well, this is on a pivoting, like just screw basically. Why couldn't I put some kind of a artificial stopper in there to prevent that? And if the stopper broke for whatever reason, oh no, it's still going to tilt back and forth, right? Claiming that this is the problem and then disputing his facts of what he felt in the review and what personally happened to the person reviewing the video. So in my opinion, this is just kind of scummy in a way.
As far as us not being able to give you that headrest, when we first mentioned it, and we discussed it in that email, that our primary priority was to fulfill all of the pre-orders that we had as quickly as possible, because those customers paid for a product that they did not even have or did not even see yet. That's a super high responsibility that we take seriously. It is our responsibility to fulfill those orders so that they get their return on their investment as quickly as possible. We mentioned that we had Mira 2 headrests that were relatively new and that we'd love for somebody to review them and that we would give it to you for free. If there's other products that you'd like to review, we'd be happy to do so, but only on the requirements that you don't provide a promo code or an affiliate link to any product.
Here's where I want to back up, and I think this is him trying to kind of save face on this aspect of, you know, this conflict of interest kind of statement that he makes early in the video, talking about how if you're a reviewer, and I think this is kind of the whole point of this video. There's a whole video response, by the way, that honestly makes to this, and it's kind of funny. But I think officelogix kind of defines exactly what's there. I think if the brand has the opportunity, here's how the relationship is. And we're going to get into this whole, like, how I work with brands and how does money change and when all that stuff. We'll get into this in a second. But I think this is a perfect example of where a brand doesn't really understand or connect, or maybe I'm lost in this, with what comes with being in the influencer space. And what I really mean is being able to accurately understand if a creator is reviewing a product, regardless of whether they're making commission on it or something. They're just creating content, and you could see it as fodder, bad press, good press, whatever the case. They're talking about your product, okay? And in that same case, in his review, coming from someone who is obviously invested, and you can see this in his response video, he's invested thousands and thousands of dollars into products of his own money. That's not something that has been sent by brands to make a video on, lose money on that video so that he can communicate in an unbiased way to his audience, to tell him that he should also, like, hey, review this product from my brand, but by the way, don't use any affiliate codes. You're a creator. We're just going to send you this product for free, but you can't monetize that free product that we send you in any way, because that free product should be payment enough, basically. I hate that relationship. I think what needs to be realized is, from the creator's aspect, if you're working with a brand, which happens a lot of times, by the way, there are several things that I've done, and I'll be very transparent. I just did a video reviewing 8 different microphone stands. There's a lot of them right there. Every single one of those stands, except one of them, I did not pay for. Every one of them but the Billion stand got sent to me by brands. I didn't pay for them. They're not paying me. There was no commission, like 10%, 20% structure if I sold using their link, nothing. But what I did is I put an Amazon affiliate link. Why? Because if you go click and buy it, you're going to buy it anyway if you want to buy it. Or I'm going to make an Amazon affiliate kickback from that link. That's all that really is. And that's not me being unbiased. That's me talking about a bunch of products that people might be interested in, and you make the choice to be able to go purchase that. I'm not saying that, and in that review I said the Elgato was the best, and I said Five Fine would be the second one I'd recommend. It's not because I think Five Fine is the best brand in the entire world. It's just, it's a good microphone arm, right? And sure, do I get a kickback from doing all of that stuff? Yes. Does that make me a bad creator, or does that automatically make me biased? I mean, that's up for you to decide as the community. But for a brand to attack the creator and say that they have an unhealthy relationship with the other owner and claim that they have some kind of, it's just a weird, you got to go watch the original video. Or to claim that they have some kind of like weird relationship with the other owner and then not be able to substantiate this claim. It's just so funky that happens. And you could just take it as press for your review and not have to see it as this like personal attack, which is what I really think that officelogix is taking it as, is this personal attack because he didn't like the headrest. There's nothing wrong with a creator or a brand or bad reviews not liking or having bad reviews or someone not liking your stuff. I don't understand it. And then he says,
iterate one more thing. It's not a personal matter that we have between us and Dan. We actually have no problem with you. Like his channel, actually. It's provided a lot of great information for everyone out there, whether you're buying a Herman Miller or any other product. What we do care about is impartiality and objectivity. Being a best friend of a company that opposes another company and then getting a commission and kickback does fall 100% within the category of conflict of interest. To say that you're impartial, there is some type of, I don't want to go as far as saying dishonesty, but I would say that it could be considered muddying the waters. And saying that is very, very, I would be apprehensive to say that if I was in his position.
See, here's the statement, okay? Here's what I was talking about where he was trying to like say he was buddy-buddy with Atlas. He basically claims right here that, honestly, Dan is what he's saying, has a working relationship that's really good with Atlas, and because of that, he wanted to make good favor of Atlas, right? And sell a bunch of their product because he's going to get some massive kickback and all of this. This is one thing for an audience member to point that out and be like, hey, one thing, but it's another for the opposing brand to make this claim? Even if he was being paid under the table, why don't you just focus on the marketing that you need to focus on? And at that point, if he made some valid criticisms, maybe address them. But I don't think that this is the correct response that a brand, a company should have done towards a creator who made a review on a product and told his audience that that this is the product you should go buy. If this is the response that is what every company should be able to do, then I would be littered with a whole bunch of companies that would never work with me again. But it's completely honest to be able to have that. And at that same case, he did a whole video mentioning your name and putting your link and talking about your product the whole time. I don't get it. And right after this, he talks about neutral and fair reviews. And it's just, there's so many like, I really love his channel. It's so awesome. It's whatever the case. And then the next minute, he's so negative towards him. And this whole video is it's just a wash. I can't believe that this is the video that he wanted to push and promote on his channel. And then there's some other concerns that were brought up by Ahnestly. So if we look down at the bottom of this video has 9,000 views, right? Almost 10,000 views, 330 likes, which is kind of low for an engagement on a 3,000, a 10,000 view video, but it has one comment and it's a positive comment. So obviously the brand is either one, paying for views on this video, or two, they're deleting comments. It's one of the two. I've never seen a video, or I've never had a video with 10,000 views on my channel with one comment. So they're either heavily moderating their comment section, which I kind of want to comment something and see if they delete it. Maybe I do that. If I do, I'll give you an update. But yeah, it's so interesting.
They said their response video wasn't personal.
It's not a personal matter that we have between us and Dan.
Yet they've posted about me multiple times on their YouTube channel, and even though I'm not active on TikTok, they also posted about me on their TikTok as well. Just to be clear, I made one review of their headrest comparing these two in a long form video on my channel. I didn't cut it up into shorts. I didn't put it on Instagram. I didn't talk about it anywhere. I didn't promote it. I didn't talk about it on Reddit. Nothing. It's just the one long form video, and that was it.
And this is what I'm talking about. When it comes to a company directly coming back at an influencer and just completely refuting everything that they said, it's just messy, and it doesn't need to happen this way. I mean, you can have, and this is the truth, if a product is reviewed, you can have a negative thought or opinion about a product. Otherwise, a consumer has the right to review any product that they want. That's like this Shure SM7B. Do you know how many videos I've made about this video? And I've said that there are so many other microphones that you can get that are cheaper, that are better for the opportunity, more budget conscious, things like that, right? Totally. Not one time has Shure reached out to me and said, I wish that your videos don't blah, blah, blah. They're not going to do that because normal companies don't do this. But in that same case, I also feel that even when in all those videos I've said it, this is a great microphone, but I think it's a bad value for $400. In this thing, these are basically the exact same price, okay? $10 different, even if you don't use his coupon code. This is basically the exact same price. So he's not incentivized to sell one over the other. And on the topic of that pricing piece, he goes through this in this countering the accusations, where he basically says that this one on the right is $190 and the one on the left is $180. And from Amazon affiliate, getting the 3% commission from the Amazon affiliate click link, if he actually could have said, and he says this, that he could have left a better review on this if he wanted to, because if he was chasing the money part of it. If he would have left a positive review and promoted this Atlas headrest, he would have made more money off affiliate links than he has on the Atlas headrest. I think there's a lot of things to be considered there. And then he talks about how right here he buys the chairs full price and he might hate them, whatever the case, but he does it for the review and talks about it. He breaks all of this down in this video. Again, you can watch the full length video down in the description, but I'm really wanting to use this as a jumping off point to talk about what you should be doing if you're a person who's going to be working with brands. Also, can I just throw some shade for a second? If you're going to be a person who's making a video, especially where creators are probably going to be, looking at it, can you at least make your camera level? That might be a little petty, but could you not have leveled your camera off and followed some kind of rule of thirds piece rather than you sitting down at the very bottom of your frame? Oh, man. the videography side of me right now is hurting so much. I can't not talk about the story if I don't talk about this section right here. I'm gonna let you hear this.
Then goes on to make one of the most unfounded claims in all of the video. They said, hey, we refurbish embodies all the time, which I found to be very interesting because the refurbished embody I bought from them, they sent me the totally wrong chair. But anyways, they said we refurbish embodies all the time, and one of the most common breaks that we see is the antler. There is no claim anywhere, no one has reported, no one has written anything at all about the Atlas headrest breaking their embody or breaking the antler. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is it's a very trust me bro moment because they don't actually have the headrest installed to the chair.
I genuinely think that officelogix, who obviously is a brand connecting with a whole bunch of other, companies and selling a whole bunch of products, I really think they just fumbled this heavily. I think they saw this as an opportunity to make a response, to feel like they could kind of generate some kind of back and forth drama, to get some kind of attention, to see the opposite side of the conversation, to see everything be just debunked and honestly jump back and forth in saying like this doesn't make any sense. I think it just justifies this point of, number one, a company should not do that. A company should not just come back and attack the creator and in that same case try to perpetuate their brand or their product so much more and make claims like this to just completely, one, discredit the creator, but in the second case, discredit the other brand. I'd love to see if Atlas has any response to this, but I actually think that I would highly doubt that they would make some kind of a response. So what does that mean as a creator? This whole situation about this chair, right, makes me want to make sure I'm very transparent, not only with you about how I deal with creator incentives and talk about brands that might send me things or whatever the case, but I also want to talk about if you're someone who's looking to work with brands, what should you expect? And I'm not a huge YouTuber, but I've worked with several brands: Elgato, AverMedia, Five Fine, Rode, HyperX. A lot of brands have sent me product over the years. And one of the things that I have learned is that most of the time they want to have that free exchange. They want to send you the product and they want you to make a video. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they want to ask you what your rate is, and maybe it's just my size, but I'd love to be able to charge for every single video. But in that same case, I always state this video I will have full opinion, opportunity. This is not going to be something that you're going to be able to fully vet and say there's a problem with it, things like that. My opinion is my opinion. And if I have problems, I'll let you know, but my opinion is my opinion. And just being honest with the company. And there are sometimes, and there are videos, let me just go ahead and say this. I've actually not released maybe 10 videos over the last few years where they've sent me a product. I've reviewed it, I've made it, and I don't like the product. And instead of releasing the video and just completely going against it, I will send the email back to that company and be like, look, I just didn't like this product. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my review unit. Sometimes they'll send me a new unit to test. And I've only had it one time where a new unit was different than the original. But for example, that's just how it works. I would rather try to not just slander a whole brand online if I can help it in that same case, but I'm going to be honest and tell them I didn't like your product. Here's the video. And most of the time I just send them an email after it's published and here's the video. So, but there are times where I will do paid collaborations, and it's very clearly, I will say so-and-so has paid me to make this video. I will claim that in the video. I will put it in the description that this video is sponsored. There's the little tick mark. And if that happens, yes, they have paid me physically. I have received money in some way, either through some kind of check or invoice. I have received money from them for a sponsored video, and most of the time I don't leave my opinion in that, and I just speak objectively about the features that it has. And if I really like the video, I will say this is my opinion, but you need to make the decision on your own. And honestly, a lot more lately I'm just saying what are your thoughts, and asking the comments about what your thoughts are and seeing if you like the product. And that's what I've been doing more often. But the truth is, as a creator that reviews products, if you always, and this is so true, and I hope that as an audience member you could recognize this, if I only lived off ad revenue, it would be impossible. You know, Amazon affiliate links, brand deals, sponsorships. This is part of that whole being a creator and that creator economy. And we've been doing this long enough that even the audience members should recognize that this is kind of how it goes. It's up to you at that point of whether or not you'd want to trust the creator. And in the case of Ahnestly, you know, I bought the Atlas headrest and I trust him, and I watched other videos when I was actually looking at getting the Embody. I was looking at either getting the Embody or a Secret Lab, and there's a whole host of these creators who make these chair reviews, and I loved his channel and I loved his comparison of the things, and he was actually one of the only ones that owned both and made the comparison. So as a creator, when you work with brands, if you're looking to start connecting with people, I would just be very upfront. And this is how you're going to avoid a lot of this negative attention as the creator. Number one, be very clear and upfront with the brands that you're working with. If they've sent you the product, make sure you tell them, I'm going to be completely, I'm going to be honest. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, whatever the case. If I have a problem with the unit, I will let you know and tell you, like, this isn't functioning the way I anticipated it. Is this the correct way? And the brand most likely will say, no, it's not, here's another one. Or they'll say, no, we've not had that before. And they might tell you not to make the review. And that's up to you at that point, whether or not you make the review. Taking free reviews and products from people, great. Totally, that's perfectly fine. But I don't think there's that difference of you're going to put an Amazon affiliate link in the description for the free product, or if you choose to not to, like officelogix is telling you to do, like, I will only allow you to do it if you put the link in the description and it's not an affiliate link. That's the only way I would trust it as an unbiased, honest review. Like, you're still making money off of the ad revenue. Do you want them to also not monetize the video? Do you also not want them to post any other content on any other platforms? I don't know. It's just such a weird relationship that this company has with creators, and especially coming back to attack the creator in the end is so funky. So those of you who are looking to get into product reviews or working with brands, just make sure that regardless of what's happening, you are very clear up front when you're working with these brands. This is what I expect. If you're going to ask for some, like, a production fee or what are your rates for your video, be very honest with what it provides, if it's got usage rights or if it's got rates, other things, white label, all of that stuff that comes along with it. Just be honest and make sure that it's in writing if you can, as much as you possibly can, to make sure that things are consistent and straightforward. If it's just exchanging a video for a product, let them send the product. Hey, send me the product. Make your little short video about it, but be honest. Like, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I'm literally staring at a product across the room right now that I did not make a video on. And I messaged the company and said, I don't like this product. Genuinely, it was a camera that was way too hot on the side, and it was supposed to be a handheld camera, and I feel like it would burn people. And I said, I'm not going to review this. Maybe I have a wrong unit. And they were like, yeah, we'll send you another one. That was 4 months ago. I never got a new unit. So yeah, and it's also a brand that's made a lot of cameras before, so kind of whatever. Anyway, I hope you get something from this video. I'll leave all the links to the original videos in the description so that you can go check out and form your own opinions about these videos. officelogix, if you watch this video, this was not the correct response to have towards a creator. And this drama, while you might think is some positive thing for your brand, for you to defend your brand in a way, you didn't have to do it. I think you could have left it alone and allowed the creator to make their choice in what they wanted to create their content around. And you just saw it as you didn't have to pay marketing cost for them to be able to create a 20-something minute video about your product and also make another 17-minute video about your product for free. You didn't pay anything. You didn't even send them the product. It's all free marketing costs. Regardless if it's a bad review or not, it's now searchable, and now I'm making a video about it. Here's more ad revenue for you. I'm not leaving a link for your product though. It's whatever the case. At this point, it's whatever. But you can go pick up the Atlas headrest or the Herman and Body. I'll put those down in the description. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to check out some other videos, check out one of these. I don't normally do these kind of videos or reaction or drama videos, but I felt like this was a really interesting thing to highlight the difference between what you should do as a brand working with a creator and what as a creator you should be doing. I think Ahnestly handled this really well, and cheers, man, on your video. And I love your channel. I hope it continues to grow. Obviously 50K views on this video in the last 4 days. Ballin', man. All right, y'all have a great day.